Steve here from Plants with Steve. Today I'm reviewing the GOAT of all outdoor YouTubers, Outdoor Boys. Luke is foraging and he's hunting and doing different things in these various videos. I'm going to discuss similarities of what we have here and what they have there in Alaska. While the species might be different, they do serve similar functions. Obviously, he's got very exciting adventures that he's done in the past, and I'd like to review them. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of his videos.
This tundra is so lumpy, I gotta find a flat spot. I think this is about as flat as I'm gonna get.
Here in New England, we have a number of environments that are similar to tundra while we don't have the tundra itself. Tundra is a shallow-rooted, often mossy or lichen-style growth over permafrost. We don't have permafrost here in New England, but we do have similar ecological regions underneath trees. For instance, under a dense pine forest, you'd be looking at a horizon structure with very little soil. So you'd have things like Gaultheria procumbens, which we talked about on some former videos, so check those out.
See right there? Those are blueberries right there.
It's not a very good year for blueberries this year. For whatever reason, the blueberry bushes seem to be pretty barren.
Tons of these crowberries around here. See, they grow in these little clumps.
Crowberries are a little bit more inconsistent in their flavor, but I like them better.
So here, clearly he's talking about blueberries and crowberries. We do have blueberries here, low bush blueberry and high bush blueberry. Crowberries not so much, but we do have mountain cranberry and other things that again grow in the same style environment. Acidic conditions with very little topsoil underneath. They kind of form their own substrate and are harvesting about the same time period. So you're talking summer to early fall for those guys.
And you can't miss it. The smell is just like garlic. Very hard to get wrong, and it's delicious. And this will go perfect on Tommy's baked potatoes tonight. So we're gonna gather up a bunch of this. Let's see.
So here, obviously, he's talking about the field garlic. I don't know that I bumped into field garlic myself, but I have bumped into a whole bunch of wild chive patches out in the woods. Maybe it was field garlic and I just thought they were chives. Nearby cultivated areas, so I wasn't out in the dense forest. I was kind of in a suburban environment, walking around in the woods near people's homes. So,
oh, I broke it off. I broke off part of it. You can see there's part of the tube. There we go. I found dinner. Take these and let's go get some more.
So I watched this video a little bit beforehand. So he finds this Arrow arum, which is a wetland plant that grows along the banks. Obviously, it's very mucky and sometimes underwater where it does grow. While I have seen that it's decent for a survival food, there are parts of the plant that are poisonous. They are toxic. So it's going to be more toxic to some people than others. So some people can get away with eating the very bottom part of it, but as you move up the plant, it becomes more and more toxic towards the leaves. And later on in this video, Luke ends up cooking it, and one of his kids ends up getting, very badly affected by the plant. Ends up making your hands feel like numb and tingly, and makes your lips kind of numb and tingly wherever came into contact. So I'm not sure on this one if I would rely on this as a survival food. I guess maybe if you were starving to death, you would do pretty much whatever it takes, but I certainly wouldn't feed it to my kids.
Let's see if we got any berry bushes. Oh, here we go. Crowberry. Ooh. Oh, I love crowberry.
So he's back at the crowberries. So like I said earlier in the video, we don't have crowberries around here, but I did look it up, and it is a relative of the blueberry. So it's part of the it's Ericaceae. So it's a low-growing, acidic-loving plant. Grows kind of in boggy conditions. Very little soil substrate necessary to grow it. I don't think it would grow around here. I've never seen it in the trade cultivated, to sell. I would like to try some. That'd be kind of cool.
Pretty sure that's an edible mushroom. I'm like 60% sure. I'm not at 100% sure.
So, great point with mushrooms. That is a whole nother realm. I don't mess around with mushrooms myself. There are people that specialize in mushrooms. They know exactly what they're looking for when they go out into the woods and they see it. Good rule of thumb that I've seen is mushrooms that grow on the side of decaying wood or on the side of trees, usually edible. Things that are growing out of the ground, I don't know. I don't mess with mushrooms, and clearly Luke doesn't either. Even when you're pretty sure, you don't want to find out that you were wrong.
Some blueberries.
And here he is again, finding more blueberries. So the blueberries are really fun. If you're going to get serious into blueberry picking, there are places like Tractor Supply, different other dealers that sell little harvesters. So they're shaped, they have the tines, almost look like a little handle with tines on the end of a scooper, and you can really go through, and if you have a dense patch of blueberries, it's a very efficient way to go and pick. It's kind of fun if you're going to do it with a group of people, hook bags up and freeze them for later use. My kids and I just go up and we end up picking by hand. There's a lot that grow on a nearby mountain up on the summit that we love to go and pick from this time of year. So pick a nice cool morning and hike up and get there before the crows and other animals beat you to it.
These are rose hips. They're really common up here in Alaska, and they're really good. These ones are perfectly ripe. Ooh, look, there's a bunch of them right here. Rose hips have kind of a mushy texture, and they're not that sweet, but there's a lot of meat on them, a lot of vitamins in them. You mix them.
So here we have a number of wild roses that are edible here. They're rose hips. Roses are in the same family as apples and pears and it's called Rosaceae. So a lot of the fruit-bearing plants that we have in our landscape are in the rose family.
This right here is fireweed, and it's already gone to seed. In the late summer, they get these beautiful pink and purple flowers that are edible. And in the springtime, you can eat the fireweed shoots.
We have a lot of fireweed here in New England. You'll see that blooming later on towards later in the summer. So that's something that you can keep in mind as an edible. The Labrador tea I have seen in existence, but the only place I've seen it is near the summit of Mount Washington. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed my review of some of Luke's videos. He certainly is a foraging expert. He does a lot of hunting and fishing and foraging in his videos. They're really good to learn what he likes to do. You can adapt that for your environment, as we kind of talked about here in New England. Don't be afraid to get out and enjoy some adventures. Eat some things that you know that you can have. Show your kids. That's one of the lost arts of what we have here in the wild is things you can eat. So it might save your life someday. You never know. And until next time, thanks for joining me. Plants with Steve out.